What is up, my tribal people? Welcome back to another episode clip of Pree Da Podcast. And just a reminder that these are only shortened clips, and if you want to listen to the full episode where we talk about way more, make sure you click the first link in the description below. Alternatively, you can type in Pree Da Podcast on all your audio listening platforms. And if you want to keep up with what goes on behind the scenes, make sure you type in Pree Da Podcast on Instagram to follow our page. And with that out of the way, I'll catch you guys on the other side. Like this guy was everywhere. Women saw him, men saw him. Even stuff that he did years ago was resurfacing, and he did stuff with Link Up TV, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like one of their shows where they go on dates. It might not be Link Up TV, it might be Walk of Comedy or something like that.
99% of the world's problems would be solved if females walked through life with their body count on their forehead.
You are now listening to Pree Da Podcast with your host, Majaro.
Welcome back to another episode of Pree Da Podcast. Remember, our aim is to get to 100 subscribers before the end of the year, so you already know what we've got to do. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because we're trying to build a community here, and by sharing this with your friends and family, that goes a long way in helping us do that. And now with that out of the way, let's get into it. What is up, people? Welcome back to another episode of Pree Da Podcast. And let's just get straight into it. Joining me today is the one half of the Ellis and Will YouTube channel.
Hi, gang.
Man like Fidelis.
How you guys doing?
Yo, we're good, bro. We're good. But today, we're here to talk to you, fam. How you been? How's your summer?
Summer's been good. Just been working. Like, this is my first summer out of university. So I've not technically had a summer because I've just gone straight into work. You get me? Is it my first summer? No, it's my second summer after university, sorry. So this is, finish uni, you be like, yeah, there is no more summer. Where you get that 2-month break where you do nothing. So literally, I've just been working, man. Just been working, just having fun.
That's good.
And just living life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What can be really? There's nothing spectacular about life sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like this is the first real summer that we've had post lockdown and post COVID and all that. Yeah. Because Carnival's back. Yeah, Carnival's back.
Are you going Carnival?
Nah, I can't, man. Too much.
I haven't been yet.
But I feel like this is the first year everyone's back into full swing. All the festivals are back with, twice the amount of acts that they had the previous year.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're gonna go over a bang this time. Not gonna lie, they're gonna try get it done.
Today we're gonna talk about one of the most controversial people on the platform, on any platform, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all social media platforms. It's man like Andrew Tate, the top G. The top G. Mate, his voice. Alpha male supreme. It feels like every 3 months, there's a new alpha in a building. Whether it's Kevin Samuels, whether it's Fresh and Fit, whether it's Andrew Tate, there's always, or Jordan Peterson, there's someone in the quote unquote manosphere that comes to prominence, and that's who everyone's attention's on, who everyone's looking at, who's gunning for. He's got a big following. Let's see what he's talking about. And the latest person in the past 3 months, is Andrew Tate.
Do know how to administer CPR. However, I will not administer CPR unless you're a hot female. If you're some fat dude and you just had a heart attack and I don't really know you.
Out of nowhere, I just start seeing loads of his shorts.
He popped up out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never really, I wouldn't say I sit down and watch his content. I don't do that. But he's on other people's platforms and then people respond to what he says. So you get his content whether you're looking for it or not.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? You can be scrolling on TikTok and now he's on that show, Fresh and Fit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking. I'm like, not gonna lie, bro, you're making a lot of sense. I'm not gonna cap. This is what
happens. This is a strategy that I feel like a lot of people have clocked on who are, critically analysing his platforms or what he says. It's one of them where he bombards, or he gets people to bombard social media platforms with all the outrageous clips from whether his live streams or someone else's live streams of him saying crazy stuff like, you guys are nothing without me. If you didn't have me, telling you what to do. If you sheeps didn't have me, you know, I can get you this if you just follow me, you know, sign up to my university. Women are this, women are that, second rate, blah, 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 blah. Just send loads of outrageous stuff that gets people, you know, clicking and commenting and thinking, wow, who's this guy? And then the people who are interested in, you know, where his views come from or whatever he's saying, they might type him in and search him out, and then they'll find other videos of him saying stuff that is pretty basic, like, you know, guys need to provide, you need to be the man of your house, you need to lead, da 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 da. And then they'd be like, oh, you know, he says outrageous stuff, but he also says stuff that makes sense. So the people who find the stuff that makes sense will start to follow that. Mm-hmm. But on the other end of that, there'll be people who just see the outrageous stuff.
Yeah, who just want to see the outrageous. So there's the sense in what he's saying, and then there's the outlandish things he says that makes people be like, that's a bit wild.
Exactly. So let's go back. Let's go into his backstory. So this guy is the son of a chess player, right? A world-renowned chess player who's won loads of millions playing chess. So he's not coming from the bottom, right? He's not coming from
poverty. Yeah,
it's not coming from poverty. And then he decides to go in the opposite direction of his father and does kickboxing. You know, crazy. He was a kickboxer, did mixed martial arts, made his name that way. And he was on other shows like Big Brother, apparently. He was on Big Brother.
I'm intelligent enough to understand that if you want to learn something, you have to shut your mouth. You know, it's very easy to talk and constantly, you know, get attention and talk. You don't learn anything that way.
Yeah, I didn't know that. He was on
Big Brother in the UK?
Yeah, in the UK. Apparently he's been trying to get famous for time. So once he finally created his Hustlers University.
Today I'm getting a PhD from Hustler University, also known as Hustlerversity by those of us with the grind set. It was created by this guy.
I'm Top G.
It's basically
I've heard about that.
It's basically a pyramid scheme where he says, I'm going to give all you guys this knowledge to make it in the game, whatever industry you're in, whether it's crypto, whether it's, you know, starting a business. This is the platform where you guys can come and, you know, level up and become top G's.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's $50 for a subscription.
Yeah.
And all it is a couple of his boys
just
teaching.
repost.
Teaching.
Yeah.
Reposting his videos. Just basic stuff that it's not like you can't get this information anywhere else. If you just need to find it. But he's basically saying, yo, this is a community. It's a Discord server. It's basically him and a bunch of guys talking to each other basically in an echo chamber. So it's not like...
I heard apparently he gets down to what you repost his content, and obviously they get a percentage or whatever. But then when they tell new people to join, they then get a cut of the new people who join. So that it's just like a massive people make money just from him from them posting what he says and just from what he says. So I'm not gonna lie, in this world you have to be smart, bro. You can't really knock someone's hustle sometimes. Sometimes it's not as good as it should be. Sometimes it's really healthy.
And it's one of them where I feel like it's I wouldn't say easy, but like I feel like there's a blueprint to these stuff. You always see it, you know, say the most outlandish, you know, bipolar, you know, stuff ever. That's
people talking in it, like people gravitate to things they don't like
more than
if we're going to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, more than
we gravitate. Yeah, like what? Go ahead.
I feel like people gravitate to things that they disagree with, probably more passionately to the things that they actually agree with. If it's something that they agree with, they'd be like, scroll past.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing. I don't need to do anything. Bothering me. Good. You can go to the side. It's you people who are chatting the most was that I need to go and give all my energy.
Exactly. I got into that in social media. I think it was probably like during the whole COVID and Black Lives Matter period where everything was just kicking off and I was just seeing everything. I was just commenting on everything. And then I'll be arguing with people online and just random people online. And this is engagement for whoever posted that content. This is like, yes, they're making money some way, somehow.
Like, I don't know how these Twitter trolls do it. Like, there'll be times where I'll post something on, I remember I trolled once, right? I tweeted, if my girl chooses a degree over me, she's not my girl, or something like that.
A light one. That's a light one. That's a light one.
That's a light one. Obviously, people like, what the hell? Who are you? Obviously, people reacted to it because I knew I was trolling in it. I knew, like, no girl, I would never expect a girl to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I wouldn't. But I did it. And obviously, people arguing with me. And I started replying. I was like, I don't have the energy for this. You know how much energy it takes to actually argue or to tweet people on Twitter?
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, you have to be so jobless to do it, honestly. It's like, I don't have time for that.
But that's the thing. There's actually people that do that. You know, exactly. Internet sleuths who go into people's back catalogue, their old tweets, videos of their...
Try to bring them down, innit?
Exactly. And that's what's happened with one of the multiple things that's happened with Andrew Tate. So, you know, a video of him abusing, you know, a female.
Apparently it wasn't even abuse. Apparently it was one of their kinks. And listen, like
allegedly. That's what he's saying. That's the story he's going with.
Like, bro, I'll be honest. I don't know much about Andrew Tate. I ain't gonna lie. Like, see?
Yeah, I've done research, bro. I've done research.
Yeah, you've done your research, which you should. If you didn't do your research, that would be poor.
Poor. But yeah, so, you know, that surfaces, that's one mark against him, regardless of whether it's a kink or, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Once you're,
exactly.
Once a man is accused of anything in that manner, it's actually over.
It's game over. It's game over. So now, because of his views, because of his influence, because of the videos and all the allegations, you know, stuff that substantiated with video evidence and some that are just allegations about, you know, trafficking people here and there. I haven't heard too much about that. Yeah, there's been allegations, but there's nothing concrete, so we can't go into that. Now he's been banned off all social media platforms.
You see that? I don't like that.
I feel like this is like the quickest ban they've ever issued before of someone on this level. Like this guy was everywhere. Women saw him, men saw him. Even stuff that he did years ago was resurfacing, and you know he did stuff with Link Up TV, I think.
Really?
Yeah, like one of their shows where they go on dates. It might not be Link Up TV, it might be Walk of Comedy or something like that.
99% of the world's problems would be solved if females walked through life with their body count on their forehead.
A YouTube channel that had him on, had a date with a woman, and he was just being his cocky, you know, self-assured self. You know, I got money.
Oh, I know that clip you're talking about with that light skin mix. I think she's mixed race. I don't know. That light skin woman.
Yeah.
I've seen that clip when he was talking about if his wife did, if his girl did OnlyFans, and she would take up a percentage.
Yeah. Yo, I rate that still. I'm like,
I hear it. Not gonna lie, I hear it. Basically, I hear it in the context of if I was in that situation. Like, yeah, I'm taking a call because it's not gonna work. I'm sorry, it's not. Yeah. What?
But that's a fight, bro. That's a fight. That's gonna be a fight.
Girl, you're gonna do that? Nah, I'm taking a call. Well, firstly, I've never been in a position to be with an individual who thinks doing OnlyFans is an appropriate way to make money.
What do you mean by that?
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, once it's on there, you're like, imagine. So imagine, let's think about this, right? You just come home from a long day of work at 9 to 5, right? Your 12-year-old, you come into the house. Your 12-year-old son's like, "Hey, Dad, have you seen this video of Mommy?"
Oh, no. Yo, that's the thing, right? Like, there was, I was listening to, I was watching Abba and Preach, and they were covering a video of an influencer giving advice to a young kid, right? So he says, "Hey, you know, I'm getting bullied at school because my mom is an adult worker."
Oh yeah, I think I saw that episode.
Yeah, I saw that. An adult worker, and everyone's taking the piss out of me. You know, it'll be nice if you could, you know, do a video for me or, you know, give me some advice and blah, blah, blah. So the influencer said, yeah, bro, like, you know, you can get through it, it don't matter about all that. But what's your mom's name? But what's your name? What's your mom's name? But what's your mom's name though, still? And then obviously the kid was like, the kid was like, you know, air them and just, you know, let it be. But that's crazy. Like, cause obviously that's just crazy. Stays around you.
That's like I said, the internet's on, I don't think the internet's going anywhere for a while. Do you get what I'm saying? So so imagine your kid going through that just because your mom wants to be sexually liberated and she wants to, nah, stop being selfish. Think about your future. There are way better things to do than to be selling your body. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that pedo, come on.
I hear it. I hear it. The P is crazy.
Push a P, I'm pushing P. Push a P, I'm pushing P. Yeah.
The P is
the money they're making is actually crazy. And like I said, you can't knock anybody's hustle. You want to do that, you do that. But my wife ain't doing that.
Yeah, that's
fair. For me, from my perspective, there ain't no way. I couldn't even take. I can't even say my wife because I could never take this. I wouldn't take someone serious. Like from my perspective, I couldn't take you seriously.
Fair enough, and that's the thing, right? It's so the OnlyFans epidemic or whatever what you want to call it, right? It's taken over like everything else, right? It's a way of making money. So now you see this is what goes on every guy's Instagram. Not just me, so I don't want anyone at me, so it's just not me, it's everyone, right? Yeah. You'll be scrolling through, whether it's the Discover page or your own page, there'll be a suggested post or a reel that you don't follow or something happens, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's going to be someone's cheeks. Someone's cheeks, someone's, you know, chests, right? And then, you know, you're curious, you click on it, and the first link you see is definitely an OnlyFans. It's definitely an OnlyFans.
Let me say something, man. If you see a woman with cheeks on Instagram, and then you go on a page and it says link tree.
You already know what time it is. You already know what time it is.
If it says link tree, just know there's an OnlyFans link in there. I'm telling you.
It's part of the course now.
It's ridiculous. Like, you can't, bro. Like, you don't even need to, it's so accessible that it's actually ridiculous. Let me say one thing, right? I don't know how many female guests you have or listeners you have on your podcast, but let me tell you one thing. I realize the less I can see, the more I'm interested. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like there are some women that you see on Instagram where you know they're fine and you know they're beautiful, whatever. And you're like, because you're not showing me what I actually want to see or I would like to see, I'm more intrigued in you than for a woman who's just going to show me anyway.
Because
like, now I know what categories I'm going to put you. The one girl that hardly shows anything as a modest, that's wifey right there. Potential.
Yeah.
The girl who's showing cheeks and doing all this, you're just a link, bro.
You're on the streets. You're part of the streets.
You're on the streets. You're just there, man. I'm not taking you seriously at all. That's from my perspective. You get what I'm saying? I think a lot of guys would agree. But, you know. But there was one thing about Andrew Tate. He always spoke about how, I think there was a video where he was on Fish and Fit and he was talking about how, man, we don't go to work thinking, oh, I want to oppress women. Or I'm going to go do this because I want to oppress women. No. A lot of times you go to work because you're like, I need money to be with this woman, or I need, in terms of, you know, being a provider or being a husband or being a husband is not going to wake up 9 to 5, do 12 hours, 60-hour shifts a week to be like, yeah, I'm going to go home and oppress my wife. I'm going to make her life miserable.
Yeah.
When he said that, I was like, yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, I totally agree. But we live in a people say, or certain individuals say, we live in a patriarchal world, but do we really? Not really. Not the way the world is going today. The whole, we could see, this is what I'm saying, we could get cancelled, bro.
It's one of them where I feel like in certain industries, you definitely get the feeling that if you're a woman in that industry, you're not going to get the same respect as if you're a man in that industry. For example, I feel like the motoring industry, you're not going to get the same respect as a woman.
I can hear that.
Because like with Andrew Tate, right? I feel like
what he said, a lot of the things he says, makes sense. It genuinely does.
But that's what he wants, because anyone can make sense. That's the thing. It's not hard to find stuff that makes sense. I said anyone can make sense. It's not hard to find the stuff that will make sense. Like, he'll release stuff that makes sense, right? But it's the extreme stuff that gets clipped.
I will not have nerds as children. I refuse to have a nerd carry the name Tate. If my son is a nerd, one of us has to die, him or me, and I'll challenge him to Mortal Kombat.
Jesus Christ.
That gets people talking.
That gets clipped. Yeah,
and that's what gets you cancelled. Because no one cares what Trump says about blah, blah, blah. That's actually accurate about China virus coming from there and da.
Yeah.
But because of who he is or what he's known for being, that gets muted and the label of Trump bad overwhelms the actual truth.
Just always trying to destroy people. I just feel like that's what it is. A lot of people always go out the way to try and destroy people, try and throw them down, and just make their lives living hell to contribute. Like, Andrew Tate he's always about this whole men need to be men. Like, I totally get it. Men need to be, like, I feel like I've been watching a lot of content where people feel like men are becoming very feminine now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, there are a lot of sissy men out there. Ain't gonna happen with me. Impossible. No way. Shouldn't happen with you either, bro. Like, nah. Because like, as men, we should be masculine. It is who we were made to be.
And that's the thing, right? In the real life, women are attracted to that. There's still the concept of online life and reality. Even though it overlaps, but there's still a difference. There's still a difference, especially when it comes to people, what they say. People can say a lot. Oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. Men are this. Men who do this and do that are in a no for me, or an X for me, red flags, blah, blah. More time, your baby daddy. Your baby daddy,
exactly the same person that you're talking about on Twitter.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, really, truly, like, Twitter is
the cesspool, in my opinion. It's the most toxic place because you can't confine or express the depths of complicated conversations or topics within 100 or 400 characters or whatever.
Right, you can. And sometimes, Joy, let me just say something quickly. I don't know. You know when Kevin Samuels died, rest in peace to the God.
Yeah.
You see what Twitter?
Yo, bro. Some people were rejoicing,
bro. And these were women. I went into one of the Twitter spaces to listen to what they were saying, and I couldn't believe my ears, bro.
What were they saying?
Bro, I can't remember, but just know it was disgusting. It was inappropriate. It was probably the worst thing you could possibly say about someone who's died, just because he said something that you don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Like what he was saying wasn't a lie, but
the way it's one of them. I feel like some people are so sensitive in the delivery. They if the delivery is too harsh for them, they're like, everything doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. I don't have to listen to you. Yeah. But what if the content, because this is what I give people a chance. Regardless of what other person said about them or whatever, I like to give them a chance and be like, okay, cool.
Being impartial.
I'm trying to be impartial and try to be objective as possible. So let me hear you out. And then if you start moving west, that's when I can adjust and be like, okay, cool, this is where I put you.
You know what you're doing.
But if someone says, everything this guy says is bad, I'm gonna heed it, but I'm gonna listen to them and then make my mind up.
And then make your mind up. Exactly. Like, you don't. I know one woman said, right, I didn't know who Kevin Samuels was. I didn't really know much about him. So when he died, I started watching some of his clips on Twitter, and I don't like it. Right.
On Twitter? Twitter?
You watch the most viral clips that people don't like. So obviously you wouldn't like it, especially being a black woman. And I'm not nothing against black women. But he mainly spoke to black women, innit?
Because that's the thing. They were calling on his show. People don't understand the full concept. People don't taking clips and taking away why they're calling. Who's this person? What's the segment about? What is he trying to achieve? Without all these extra contextual,
things that you need.
Settings, you're just gonna take the worst of the worst out of it. But then when you frame it properly, you like coming in and be like, okay, cool, let me listen to the whole video. Even though it's an hour, let me listen to the whole video and see where he's coming from. That makes sense. Because you actually get to, because this is what happens on Twitter. It dehumanizes people.
It does, doesn't it?
It takes away all the cadences, all the inflections, all the facial expressions, all the body language out of it and just makes it a cold
real conversation, basically.
Makes it a cold canvas, right? And once you do that, that's when someone's biases can be applied, how their mind frame is at that day and that time. If they say, what the caption in the top says, how many times have you been fooled by the caption at the top? Oh my God, this guy is such a blah, 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 blah. You read the tweet and it's crazy. But more time, that tweet was replying to this subject about this topic. And if you read it that way in the original, manuscript or whatever, it makes sense. But because someone's put their own, caption above it and implied certain things, taken to the whole different realm. So this is when they say information warfare, because things are twisted. You don't know what's deep fake. You don't know what's real, what's fake.
A lot of misinformation nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's why you always have to be impartial.
Mm-hmm.
You always have to be like, no matter what you see or read, there's that people say there are 3 truths in it: mine, yours, and the truth. So if you know that, then you know that you should always be impartial. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So with the Andrew Tate fans and them being banned, him being banned, what do you think happens to the people?
The manosphere?
Yeah. I would say just the people who listen to his content. Do you think they're going to become more extreme, search out for other people since Andrew Tate is on the platform anymore?
I guess it depends, I think if they're really avid Andrew Tate, listeners, viewers, they will find there will be something else. There's a vacuum.
Yeah.
And some people feel
literally, it just felt like he just came and filled the Kevin Samuels vacuum, but remixed it
in a less, how would I say, like in a less stylish
way.
Cool
yeah, Kevin
he
was cool.
He was the ruffian, the harsh, brash. I don't care about your feelings. I want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kevin Samuels didn't really care about people. He did care about people's feelings, but he said it in a way where if you want to take it in a manner that I didn't say it, then cool. But you can tell that this was a calm, collected
discussion.
You ain't shit, for example. Whereas with Kevin Tate, he said you ain't effing shit or you ain't this. So there's a difference in how they speak, but there's a vacuum. Somebody will fill it. He will probably come back because it's freedom of speech. He's a free person. He's not like he's killed anyone. Or it's not like he's
that we know of.
Obviously, that we know because they probably walk past a murder every single day of their life. That's the new thing. But yeah, he will come back, and because they can't get rid of him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, exactly.
He will come back. Will he come back? Will he come back stronger? Maybe. Again, like women say, they like men who are honest, but they don't like honesty.
Hey yo!
I'll be serious, bro.
I hear you.
Like, I don't enjoy it. Sometimes I don't mind being cutthroat. Like I remember I was speaking to my boy one time, and I said to him, I was speaking to some of my boys. I was like, "Is it your duty as a man to provide and take care of your wife?"
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, right?
Yeah, and women are gonna expect that as well.
And women are gonna expect that. Whether you're in the mood for it, whether you're in the mood to provide, you have to provide, right?
Yeah,
because that's your role. Now, if I was to say to you, because I asked this girl, I said this in church, right? And they're like, "Duty? What?"
Oh yeah.
I asked, "Do you think it's a woman's duty to have sex with her husband?" And they were like, "No." I'm like, "What do you mean no? What do you mean no? Like, duty is it's a responsibility. It's a quote unquote job, so to speak. That's like the Google definition. But like, if you're my wife, and I've said you're my wife, would you not say if it's your duty, like you said, to provide and take care of your wife, no matter how you feel, would you say it's then your wife's duty to please you, regardless of
whatever?
Now, this is where it gets techie. Because my other guy got techie, but regardless of how she may or may not feel. Because you have to put yourself aside for her sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that other department, don't you think she'll need to put herself aside for you? Or where are you gonna go?
And literally, these are the things that happen in a relationship. Compromises. Sometimes I might not be feeling up to it, but I have to lay it down. Sometimes vice versa. Sometimes I need to do this so that everything works. It's one of them where it's constantly you're working together and both sides have made the agreement to be together.
Yeah, so you need to.
So you need to.
You need to. It's like
it's one of them. It doesn't have to be said because that's what happens, right? Stuff that
it does need to be said. We don't live in a world where things that are unsaid cause problems later down the line.
True.
I'm telling you that for a fact.
But like I feel like with people who are already on the same page, it's not a fight every day. Oh my God, you haven't done this. I like this.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I'm not saying it's a fight, but I'm saying in the grand scheme of how a marriage works, those are the things that you as a man have to do and she as a woman have to do.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, because if you stop providing, she's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Gone with the wind.
Gone. If you stop making the money you're making before, most likely, and finances get difficult and you start arguing because of it, she's most likely gonna leave you. You get what I'm saying? But then you flip it on the other side, then it's a bit techie because you can't really talk about it because it's a bit like, oh no, you can't really talk about women's issues or you can't really talk about what men need in a relationship because, if you live in a toxic masculinity world where men aren't allowed to actually say what they want because, they're going to get backlash. Because even just trying to have this conversation, I'm trying to stop myself from saying certain things because I know if I say so much shit before, I'm going to get, you're this or you're that. I'm like, no, this is just what I expect from the woman I want to call my wife. If I can then say, and it just goes back to what he said, men don't go out of the way to oppress women. Certain men do, okay, because there's always bad apples. People do things that are wrong. We can agree to that. But what he says in terms of how a man should be for his wife, I hear it. Did you see the one where he was talking about responsibility and authority?
If I have responsibility over something, then that thing has to listen to me.
There's a link between responsibility and authority which has been broken. And those two things must go together. So if I have a responsibility to provide for and take care of a woman, I'm going to do my job, but I also expect a certain degree of authority. If I say, look, why are you hanging around with all those dudes for? That guy keeps staring, I don't like it. No, come here. You're not hanging out with them anymore. And I'm paying your rent and providing a car and whatever, then I expect to be obeyed. And if I'm not, then what am I doing all those things for?
That's it. For example, you could just take it simply as your little brother. My little brother. I'm his older brother, so I have responsibility over him, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I have authority over him because I'm his older brother and I'm more wiser than him. I've been through some of the things he's been through. So why would he would, even though he doesn't like it, he would have to listen to me. Because some of the things he's doing, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, come on, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So it's like teaching him. So if that happens in a brother relationship, why would that not happen in a marriage? Especially the fact where men are the leaders, are supposedly supposed to be the leaders. What? Yeah. In my marriage, I'm the leader. It's not even a competition. You know what I'm saying? That is it. It's either you come in or you don't. That's it.
And it's one of them where, because you are that type of person, you would be with someone who will follow you. That's it.
Will follow me,
right?
Exactly.
So for the people who aren't in that realm of, I'm not going to follow a guy, we're not talking about you.
What? I'm not talking about you. Yes, thank you. Tell them, please.
So don't take offense, because it's one of them where...
Because that's just how... Because like I said, men want to be providers. Some men want to be... Some men want a woman who's going to be there, they're everything. They want to provide, they want to make her happy. Yeah, so do I. But that's only going to happen if I can see that you're willing to let me lead. You know what I'm saying? There can't be two leaders. There can't be two captains on the ship. Yeah. There can't be two managers in the football team. It just doesn't work.
Said I wake up every morning, pray to God that I'm fixing up. Hope I'm never slipping up. Hear the money calling, need my peace to start getting up. Feeling like I'm blessed, but it came with a bit of luck. Feeling like you stressed, then the tension starts to fill you up. Need an intermission, yeah, they ain't the same lane as us. Come from different sticks, yeah, they're not the same range as us. They cop the pleas and top of teas, they're not hitting range with us. Keep